And we finally reached 2012, the year so many people have been waiting for. I know some of you have been anxious about the coming changes, but you know, in the end, you'll only experience an incredible elevation this year. Think of it as a moment in human history where the elevator moves up to another level of experience. It's really an exciting, empowering, and enlightening time. And notice how I'm using the letter E, words that begin with E, because E is the fifth letter of the Western alphabet. In 2012, 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 2 equals 5. So there's a direct connection with the fifth letter. Now E has 3 straight lines facing to the right. One on the top, in the middle, and at the bottom. So this letter shows a lot of forward movement. And that means this year a lot of the future is going to be on your mind. Your vision of the future will be activated, and it will be done in really surprising ways. So 2012 adds up to 5, and 5 faces left at the top and right at the bottom. So this means that we're actually at a pivot point, because it's left and right. So we have to focus on right now, not on today, not on tomorrow, not on yesterday, but right now. Plus it sits on a rocker. So it's really an incredible time of shifting. Now 5 is the middle number between 1 and 9. And we are in the middle of a 9-year cycle, which began in 2008. That was a 1 universal year. And 2012, of course, is a 5 universal year. So we're pivoting forward now into the new millennium for the first time as we pivot in that 5 year. The 1900s and the thousands were all about the one, the I, the single person who's out for him or herself. The 2000s are about the 2, which is relationships, so cooperation, compassion, love, bringing everything into balance. And so the number 2, symbolizing the 2000s, includes balancing the male and female. So in 2012, life is going to be really adventurous, lots of unexpected changes, and the astrology and numerology are basically saying exactly the same thing. In fact, right in the middle of this 9-year cycle, on the solstice on June 21st, right at that point in time, there are going to be 2 major astrological events. So it lines up directly with the numerology and astrology. The first one, Venus passes over the sun, a conjunction, but a special conjunction, and Pluto squares Uranus a couple weeks later. And these are really powerful alignments because they don't happen that often. Plus, they're happening in June 2012, which is an 11 universal month. When you add 6 to 2012, you get 11. Now, why is the 11 important? Because the big date everyone's talking about, December 21st, 2012, also adds up to 11. So there's a big connection between the solstice in the summer, which is an 11 universal month, and the winter solstice in December, which adds up literally to an 11 universal day. It's also when the long Mayan calendar ends, the 26,000-year calendar. So 11 is, as you know, a spiritual gateway. It represents double new beginnings. The 2 columns of the ones represent columns that you walk through into the unknown, into a completely new reality. So it's about bringing everything into complete balance and living only in this moment. And in my 2012 code videos, I have a lot more detailed information about all the shifts that are happening now, especially with that first event in June, you know, Venus passing over the sun. The last time that happened was in the 1800s. And later in June, of course, we have Uranus square Pluto. It's another really powerful event because it will trigger a lot of changes in the years to come. I mean, if you just know that the last time these 2 planets interacted was the 1960s, and of course there was tremendous change on all levels of society then, and so it's really fascinating to me that our current president of the US, Barack Obama, was born then, and so he's going to actually be in office and the kickoff of this powerful astrological event. And like the 1960s, we're going to experience a lot of tension between freedom and power. So you've already seen this in the Arab Spring uprisings, the Libyan crisis, the Rupert Murdoch scandal, the Occupy Wall Street movement. All of these tensions are going to come to a head in the summer. So there'll be a lot of tension between big government, banks, corporate power, and freedom from control and innovation for change. So remember, we're at a pivot point, so many events will escalate rapidly and decisions will have to be made quickly, worldwide and also in your life. So that means be flexible. It's going to be really crucial to make this a successful year when you use flexibility. So you really have to welcome the change and see the problems as just opportunities that are disguised. I mean, that's how you can stay calm and grounded, is just to see everything as a stepping stone to something that's better, that teaches you how to ground and elevate. Okay, so the Winter Equinox this year brings everything into perspective, because on that day, the astrological alignment is actually a yod, which is a Y. And another name for it is Finger of God. And it's just amazing it's happening on that exact day, the day that this 26,000 year Mayan calendar begins and ends. Because the yod is facing the 9th house, and that's about beliefs and education and religion, morality, language, foreign cultures, commerce. All of that is going to be affected as a result of these shifts. And so, as I've said before, the shift is not about things coming to an end. It's not the end of the world, but it's the end of the world as we've known it. So, really, summing up the Astro-Numerology of 2012, the energy is going to be really fast-paced, and the keywords are freedom and transformation. So it won't be a time to procrastinate, but to move, to activate, to initiate. Pay real attention to your hunches, your feelings, because they'll always guide you and empower you during these small and big changes that are going to happen for everyone. And really what this all means is that outdated models are going to begin to rebalance. So there will be some conflict and change, but of course, look at the numbers 5 and 11 from a different perspective. You know, every number has a geometric image. So looking at an image from another angle really helps to understand the meaning. And in June 2012, when the 2 big astrological alignments occur, we're going to be in an 11 universal month. And of course, 12/21/2012 is an 11 universal day. So let's look at the 11 in a different angle. Turn it on its side. What do you see? The equal sign. It's amazing. So when we walk fearlessly through that 11 gateway, we bring everything into balance, including the masculine and feminine. It's just so extraordinary. You just shift it and you see a whole other meaning to that number. Okay, let's do the same with the number 5. So 2012 adds up to 5, a pivot point number. Turn the 5 on its side, and what do you see? Waves, up and down, the rhythm of life, breath and pulse. It's all about change. So everything is rebalancing this year. And by the way, the internet's going to play a huge role in bringing about these changes, because 5 rules the media. So be aware of watching too much TV and movies. It can really shift you into feeling fear instead of fearlessness. So use the internet for positive reinforcement. There will be a lot of good explanations that will resonate with your heart. You know, life-affirming confirmation about the sacredness of life, not fear. So, you know, the result of purging our mindsets really is to experience peace, communication, tolerance for others, self-understanding, literally a transformation of how we relate to each other. So it's going to be really adventurous. The good thing is we're here to support each other. And that's amazing, wonderful news. The relationships between all of us are going to cement much more during this whole period. So have a wonderful 2012. Don't forget to read about all the current events that are happening, people in the news, as they unfold on my website. I will write about them all year long, TaniaGabrielle.com. And in the meantime, have the most wonderful 2012.